Hi there, and welcome to another Cigar Advisor Cigar Panel Review, Cigar Review. I'm Gary Korb, and I'm a former unindicted unofficial office seeker. Now today we're going to be smoking the AG Room Solera Sun Grown Fanfare. Now this is a 6 1/8 inch by 57 ring. This is a Bellicoso actually. It has a tapered head. It is made with a blend of vintage Dominican Habano tobaccos with a Dominican grown wrapper, and I will tell you more about the Solera blending method once we get started. But first, the usual suspects. On election day, he wrote in his choice for president, but when asked, he refused to say what color crayon he used. Mr. John Pulo.
Hey.
Thank you.
He was the one person from whom the Clinton Foundation actually rejected a donation, Mr. Jonathan Dettori.
Wow.
They wouldn't accept anything under 50 cents.
Finally, he put the bad in bad hombre. Let's hear it for Tommy Z-Man.
Oh, that was kind of nice. Hey, I also have a tapered head.
Yes, you do.
I've known that for a long time.
So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about the Solera aging method, which Rafael Nodal has applied to this whole line of cigars. This is the Sun Grown. This is a method where, let's start with the wine blending method, is when you blend wines of different vintages and age them together. So you take these great vintage wines, you blend them together, then you age them some more, and the result is a very full-flavored and complex wine. So what Rafael did, he did the same thing basically with tobaccos, and he took these vintage Dominican tobaccos, aged them from different, in other words, they were at different stages of aging also, and put them all together, put them in a bale, and aged them together for like another year. Flavors marry, all that kind of good stuff, and the result is the cigar we're smoking today. So, John, you're in about an inch there. What do you think so far about Solera Sun Grown?
It kind of pays off that Rafael Nodal's a wine nut.
He is.
Because I think that this has been blended for a lot of complexity, and you hear the wine people talk about nose, which would probably be somewhat similar to our pre-light when it comes, because oftentimes wines and cigars are compared endlessly. But the flavor in this is already, with just maybe, I'm not even a half inch, maybe, very complex. The pre-light started off very tangy with almost a berry kind of note, and then took up with a ton of earth and natural sweetness, so it got that real full body even before it was really lit. But then at first few puffs in, it got nice and mellow, and it was a little bit grassy, but you could still kind of taste that, getting back to the nose thing, get this spice, big spice on the retrohale, and that's just, getting in for a couple of puffs here that I have paired with a cup of coffee. But right out of the gate, tasty.
Really tasty. I thought this is, we smoked this yesterday just to get our first impressions on the cigar. When you think of Dominican tobacco, you think of a little bit of lighter tobacco, you think of the grassiness, the hay qualities that it can have, and you don't think typically full body. Well, this is like the Dominican powerhouse. This is the quintessential Dominican cigar, using really, really good tobacco from the country. You have that floral note that you had mentioned. You have a little bit of that earthiness that you had mentioned. So you have a lot going on in here, but you don't get a strong. It's not overly strong. I thought when I first lit the cigar up, because it's a sun grown, it looks a little dark, that it was going to be a little strong. But it's not an overpowering cigar either. So you get so essentially you're getting something that looks maybe a little intimidating at first. But you're getting something that's really relaxing, really enjoyable, and it has very mellow flavors with a little bit of boldness mixed in there for a really enjoyable smoke all the way through.
Tommy, what do you think?
What do I think? I think Rafael Nodal could be one of the most underrated cigar makers out there. And Boutique Blends, it's a small company, but he's come out with some amazing winners. And this is the first time I'm smoking this right now, the first half inch or so in I wasn't in, so these guys had it first, so I'm just experiencing. So I'll talk about how it's made. I mean, doesn't this thing weigh like 5 pounds?
Yeah.
There's
It's a heavy
much
cigar.
tobacco packed in this. The wrapper is an oily, gorgeous, like chocolate brown. I mean, it's just beautiful to look at. and the draw is fantastic. And you guys are right off the bat. You go, how do you know it's complex right off the bat? Because there's just different flavors and things happening right off the bat with like every puff. I'm not, since I'm just starting to get into this, I can't put my finger on a few of the flavors yet. I'm thinking about it. But I almost taste like tea, like black licorice.
Really?
Yeah,
100%.
But I'm tasting it like, when you taste like in the back of, like on your palate, like in the back of the mouth, and I really do. This is a beautifully made cigar. Like I said, Rafael, as great as nice a person he is, as great as a cigar maker he is, and I think he's underrated, and I don't, not in any way is that a put down. You guys know.
No, I
that
totally agree.
He should totally be getting
This guy has got
a lot more
Yeah.
credence, and he did from the big hoity-toity magazine when he was number 2 cigar of the year?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
number
amazing
one
ratings.
non-Cuban.
Yeah,
number one
non-Cuban,
non-Cuban.
what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I think.
And so the guy is great. So far, I'm loving this. I'll kind of try to put
that
there
in
goes.
there.
I just fell on my ash. I'll try to put my finger on a few of the flavors here. I'll put my finger somewhere. I'm not sure. John.
No, I think you're totally right with the licorice flavor. I think you hit that right on the head. But Pulo had also mentioned some spice, and that's starting to peek through a little bit. But again, it's not going to be a spice that's going to completely overpower you. It's not going to be a spice that's going to draw you away from the cigar. It's a nice, pleasing. It complements the cigar very well. And this flavors that I'm getting in the cigar kind of come through in the aroma as well. It's a nice sweet aroma. I think it has a little bit of an earthy flavor to it, or a little bit of a richer aroma to what's coming off the cigar. So that rounds out the cigar very, very well. And to be honest, I look for a good aroma when it comes to a cigar, especially a premium cigar, just because it is part of the experience. You're looking for every aspect to be pleasing when you smoke a cigar. So this is an all-encompassing cigar so far, from what I could tell. The construction is great, the burn is great, the flavors are complex, there's a ton in there, and there's a ton in the aroma as well.
Gary, is there Ligero then packed in here?
I don't know.
I
It's really
gotta
like an
think there
undisclosed blend.
I mean, because of the strength.
Probably is.
And, I'm just thinking there's got to be some real, and I think front-loaded Ligero, and when they say front-loaded, the great Jose Blanco explained that to me. They position the leaf and point it towards the front of the cigar for rolling, so it bangs you with that almost peppery, full, bold strength, and then, as John said, starts to smooth out as it goes
See,
down.
it's kind of funny though, because when I was smoking the cigar yesterday, I was talking to you guys about it, and I was about halfway through. I was like, boy, this is going to be like full body. I'm going to be like really shaken at the end because of the nicotine overdose I'm going to experience. But really, at the end of the day, it's a solid medium.
I was going to say, this checks in at a solid medium, maybe a little medium full. I think you're used to some of the aging room, like the aging room Maduro.
Yeah.
The real heavy
Or like the
hitters.
La Boheme or something like
La
that. Yeah.
Boheme, I mean, the ones that you just feel like, oh,
Yeah.
you just got, get the license plate or whatever.
Yeah,
just hit
you need to eat a
after
steak,
you're
smoke a
done.
cigar, and then eat another steak
And then
after.
take a big nap.
Yeah.
But, to jump on the back of what Tommy was saying about some of the flavors and what you were mentioning about some of those, and a little bit of a spoiler alert too, as far as some of the flavors you're going to get when you get farther down, about halfway or so. This thing stays complex throughout, stays pretty much medium full throughout. But I was grabbing a big cedar note. And a big wood note
Yeah, it's in
throughout.
there.
The
Yeah.
spice comes rolling in, and then I think you talked about it a little bit too yesterday. It brings in this big coffee and this big
Yeah.
nut tone to it. It's just really this juicy kind of. Then this dark licorice flavor comes in, and then
So
then
you got
I
that too, then?
I got the dark
Yeah,
licorice.
they're really.
See, now I didn't get that at all.
I got it right up front too.
Then the floral note,
Yeah.
especially in the aroma. The closer you get down to the
I
band,
got that.
Talk about a payoff.
And that, guys, is what we're talking about. These guys said complex, and we keep saying it. If you really don't know what complex means, or you're a newer cigar smoker, they say it. Talk about it in wines. They talk about it in whiskeys. There's just a lot going on here in the flavor department, and it changes as you're going down. Some cigars are complex, and they change about a third or a halfway. This is like changing every quarter inch of the cigar.
Yeah.
I'm tasting new things, different things. The strength is building a little, but this is really a complex, beautifully made cigar.
And you know what's awesome about the cigar as well, and that I think I absolutely love about it? It is very complex. It's obviously very complex. and we had talked about how much tobacco is actually packed in this thing and how heavy it is. So it makes for a very slow burning smoke.
Yeah,
so
it really is.
this cigar, when I tried this yesterday, I probably lit it up at like 9 or 10, and it lasted me to noon. And then by the time I got my food at lunch here at Leaf Cigar Bar and Restaurant, you know, I'm at 12:30.
Shameless plug.
Well done.
But thank you.
was beautifully done.
I still wasn't done with the cigar. So so when you first light up the cigar, you get those flavors, and when you're finally done with the cigar, about 2 hours later, or however long it takes you, you have no idea where you started from. You get the end flavors, but you're smoking it for so long, you forget the flavors that were at the beginning of the cigar. That's how incredible this is.
This cigar, I think, is going to make the top 25 list this year.
Ooh.
It's going to make the top 25. It's going to be in there.
No?
Brilliant white ash, hangs on for days, solid burn line, well constructed, nice bit of flavors. Like I said, I had that big cedar note. I had a lot of earth to it all throughout.
Yeah.
Some good spice on the retrohale, decent smoke output. Brings in those coffee and nut flavors too. So it's deliciously complex in that it gives you kind of like a little head fakes here, and it goes this way, and then kind of moves this way. And this thing really has some moves, and I like it a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would put this on my must-do list.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think smoking this cigar with you guys and telling everybody saying what they taste in the cigar is just very telling of how complex the cigar is and how palates can vary. Because I'm getting the earthiness and I'm getting the licorice, but I'm also getting still a floral note throughout. And cedar is mixed in the floral category when it comes to the flavor wheel. So I guess you can categorize it as that. I'm leaning more towards what you were saying with like a black tea or something like that coming through. But I mean, like I said, this is an all-day sucker. This cigar is gonna last you for a long, long time, and it's gonna deliver a lot of flavor. Because I only mentioned a few of the flavors. You're gonna experience a lot more as you go down, and I think we can all agree that you're gonna run the gamut here.
Yeah, take it slow, pays dividends.
Yep.
If you want a cigar that you can enjoy after dinner and sit with I would have a nice hearty red wine with this, or a really nice whiskey with a lot of flavor to it. A nice strong coffee with this would be awesome. But this is meant for sitting down after dinner, unwinding for like an hour and a half at least, because it burns very, very slow. I have not tapped the ash on this, and I love tapping ash. Let me just put that plain. I'm an ash tapping crazy maniac Polak psycho. And I'm sure you understand that. But this, I have not tapped that in about 20 minutes since we've been
I'm telling
talking.
you.
Not since it fell on you.
Yeah, since I fell on my
ash
ash.
pile.
It's a slow burning smoke with loads of flavor. It's meant to be savored. Don't buy
That's
this
true.
cigar and go, I'm going to bang this cigar out in 20
Right.
minutes. No. Enjoy this. It's beautiful. Raphael, great job,
This
buddy.
Yeah.
this belongs
absolutely.
on the top shelf of your humidor.
Fantastic.
You pay extra for that, but okay.
Well,
All right.
I guess that's it for today on the Aging Room Solera Sun Grown Fanfare. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us at cigaradvisor.com, on Facebook, Instagram. What else do we have?
Twitter.
I don't know. We've
Probably
got
Google Plus.
Anything that's social media, we're there. So
hippity dippity beep boop boop.
Maybe a Zanga blog or a MySpace. You never heard
habita.com.
Zanga?
Zanga?
That was like the blog back in my day.
Back in your day.
Back in my day.
Like
You
8
see-
months ago.
You see, Sonny, I'll tell you something.
Back in my day.
Jesus H.
Anyway, if you subscribe to it, we're probably there. So thanks for everything, and we'll see you next time.
Just type us into Google.